All right. You run it, Ivory? You want me to? Cool, 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 cool. Hi, Tali.
Hi, hi.
You went in. Had a good day.
I'm doing good. I'm
Good,
doing
good,
good.
good. I'm very tired, but I'm also doing good.
That's good.
I don't know. I get a lot of random shit on YouTube. I like watch those I like watch what's his name? Dangerously Funny, who just does stupid shit. So yeah. Anyway, slight tangent. So we're gonna basically review this. It's 40 minutes, and I know we're already on like 5 to 8, so we may not review it in full. We may split it half, but I kind of
Yeah,
want to spend
sure.
the first 20 to 30 minutes just kind of talking through, if we use that amount of time, um, your kind of position and your thoughts and
Mm-hmm.
what you're trying to achieve. Because I think it's really important to define what we're trying to do here, rather than just going,
Um,
do this instead, do this, blah, blah, you know what I mean? So we,
no, definitely, yeah. Um, uh, so for me, before I went on my hiatus on Val, I spent a good while not playing the game, after like just some personal health issues and then just kind of just not wanting to play the game essentially. But from the first from like from the first year of playing the game, was it 2021 to like 2023? I've mostly played with like Sage, Killjoy, and Omen, so I'm a very like defender type of an individual, or like someone who defends a lot, who's very defender sided in a sense.
Mhm.
Um, so playing KO here was just a way to spice things up a little bit after I haven't really played this game, like seriously in a while. Um, and so yeah.
Just to
Um,
quickly interject, what is it about Omen that makes you think it defenders?
I think it's not necessarily like the player. I play very defender like, not necessarily like
Okay, not the
um
agent.
the not necessarily the agent. Me as the individual, not the player, not the not the character.
Okay, cool. So yeah, well, that's nice. Brief hiatus, but come back. What's your kind of goal then? Obviously, you come kind of back to it, spicing things up. I like that. Just keeping it fun. What are you trying to look towards now? Not necessarily achieve. There's nothing. Do you want to rank up, or you just want to feel like you're contributing more, or feel like you get kind of some like high octane moments that make you feel like you're enjoying the game more? What's the goal?
I think the goal I kind of like always wanted to get out of bronze 3. Every time I reach bronze 3, that tiny little rank up, like you're so close, but never really got higher than bronze 3. To be honest.
Okay, so we're trying to push into like the realms of like silver, then maybe like platinum, then like probably immortal, and then like pro.
Yeah,
I mean, I would give
Yeah,
it
make
give it six
sure.
months. Yeah, let's do it.
yeah, we can do it in 6 months.
Yeah, it'd be fine. But okay, yeah. So we're trying to rank up a bit, like a bit of a rank up. Are you trying to learn? Like, obviously, you're playing KO here. When you said you're a lot more comfortable on Sage, Omen, and Killjoy, are you trying to branch out a bit, or are you?
I
Was this
think
just kind of to keep it fun?
I think like I feel like I'm a different person than I was then, right? And so I feel like I am definitely able to take more aggressive fights and gather information more aggressively than when I initially started playing the game.
Okay. I was saying
Um,
strange while you're muted actually that I think your actual aim and kind of your gunfight kind of decision making when you're in it is actually really good. So I'm inclined to agree with that.
and so yeah, if I could find old footage of myself, I would, but I don't think I have it
That's
from when I first started.
Worry
But
about
yeah,
stuff. Like the thing is
I'm
if you
born.
keep looking at your old stuff and where you're like, "Oh, I did really well here," get stuck in this like negative feedback loop. Like I'm not
True.
performing as well as I was.
Definitely, yeah.
And then you start doing stupid shit in game because you're like, well, I used to be able to do this. why can't I do it anymore? And then you get stuck in this like cycle of like
Yeah.
trying to do all the old shit you could do when like there's a couple of muscles that need stretching. Just being reminded of how to do things before you start like throwing yourself into fights. And again, if you think that you've come back a different person than before when you were playing Omen and Killjoy,
Yeah.
like maybe that just isn't your playstyle anymore.
Yeah, definitely.
What drew you to Kayo then specifically?
I kind of like the way that you're able to, like, again, like the idea of gathering information, right? Like his knife, I feel like is such a powerful, like, I feel like it's such a powerful way to find where your enemies are, right? And then being able to play off that. Um and then I think like his ult as well. And I think here in this particular, if I recall, in this particular VOD, I don't end up using his molly as much, which I should. Plus also flashing. Flashing is always something I'm kind of like scared to flash my other teammates. Pop a flash, and then everybody gets blinded and everybody dies. Yeah.
Sometimes it's worth it. Like the amount of times that I've like full blinded, like even with ASV, like I full blinded Miracle the other day, but I got 2 picks off of it because Miracle was in a shit spot. And I was like, I
Yeah.
need to blind this because you're in a bad spot. And if I don't blind this, then I'm dry swinging 2 people so you can get out alive. Sometimes you just have to accept that they're going to be blind and they're going to die. And that's okay. Shit
Okay.
happens. And they're probably going to yell at you. If they do, just be
Yeah.
fine. You'll get to a rank at some point where people understand that they're in a shit spot and they're going
Yeah.
Don't blind them on purpose though, because that will piss anybody off. That wouldn't
to
be
do it.
Stop it. Stop that.
Behave.
Okay. I like where you're going with this. I like that you've got a defined kind of goal. I like that you're interested in kind of developing like yourself and picking out something new, because a lot of people are inclined to go, well, I'm comfortable on this, so I'm just going to beat this dead horse until hopefully I rank up, which is a way to do things, but often probably the least fun way to do things. So I think discovering
Definitely.
something new while you're growing and while you're learning is a really fun way to try and push yourself and push those limits. So I think that's a really good decision, especially if, like,
Yeah.
say you think you're a different kind of person, your playstyle is different than what it used to be. I think it would be a really breath of fresh air, kind of get you going, provide some impetus and some want to do it.
Definitely.
I'm going to touch on a few concepts before we start, because there are some things that may be obvious to some people that may not be obvious to other people, and being able to kind of baseline those things so that we're all talking about the same kind of concepts is really useful. And as part of that, I'd like you potentially, if you can, off the back of these concepts, to kind of point out, maybe before I can, or if I let them run for a while, point them out in your own gameplay, because I think being able to see yourself where things could be improved is better than me stopping or Ivory stopping and saying you did this wrong, do this better. Do you know what I mean?
No, definitely. Yeah.
That self-reflection is kind of key, because if you're just being told by somebody else this is wrong, do this way, then once that person disappears and you play by yourself again, you've not kind of learned that, you've just been told it. So hopefully we can
Oh,
kind of get a
definitely.
bit of that going. Cool. So I'm going to kind of bring, I'm going to probably say 3. I'm kind of making this up at the minute because I haven't kind of got everything written down, but I'm going to bring up kind of 3 points initially, and then we'll have a bit of a chat about them, and going from that, kind of, I'll give you like headings, and then if you see something where you go, that is about that, then bring it up when we go through the VOD, and we can talk about it, and hopefully find a way for you to kind of review your own gameplay almost, and make my life easier. You know what I mean? Take the pressure off, because I'm making it up. So we'll do it in Breeze, because even though Breeze is kind of a weird map, it is a good start for 10. Kind of ignore this for a moment. In fact, we'll do it in a notepad.
Can I tell you that when I first started playing, Breeze was like the new map that was a thing. So like things like, for example, anything like Old Breeze. I'm so more familiar with the Old Breeze than with
Mm.
whatever Breeze is now. So Cave used to be open. What else?
Cave was
Hall.
good fun.
Yep.
Yeah, they used to. I mean, they had Hole, then they got rid of Hole, now they brought it back. But Cave was the big
Mid
mid.
Okay.
also, I think.
Yeah, there was
Yeah,
a
mid
big
used
gap
to have
in,
2 gaps. Yeah.
and there's the extra stuff at the back of B site.
But
I,
yeah,
I do like this a lot more, I think, than
I
Hole.
miss Hall.
Breeze.
Miss Hall.
I do.
I
Yeah, Cave was just fun.
I feel like I would have to play this Breeze more to warm up to it. But like it's not like unfamiliar, you know, so
Cool. Right. So we will start with economy. I need to hold on. Give me 2 seconds. I have my push to talk on a button on my mouse. That my mouse button is bound to like the right bracket key. So if I've got a text box open and I'm pushing to talk, all I do is just put right. I'll do this. This is what I'm doing while I'm talking, and it's really frustrating. So I'm gonna unbind that quickly.
It's really fun when you're in like conversation with Cherry in Discord and you're scrolling through the Discord chats and you just see Cherry is typing. Know that there is a whole shit ton of square brackets in that chat.
That is exactly what it is. Okay, so we'll start with economy. We're gonna we'll spend like 2 to 3 minutes on each of them. We're not gonna kick the arse out of it because I'm fully aware that you're not here to talk, listen to me talk. So we'll go for it. So what do you understand? Kind of, if I was to mention economy to you, kind of right now, what would you think about?
stonks. No. Sorry. At least the beginning from like when I initially played the game, right? It was at least like you either if I was playing as Killjoy, right? If I was Killjoy in this moment, I would buy all my util and that would be it. I would save for 2 rounds.
Mhm.
And then full buy the third round.
Mhm.
And then if I lost, I would save.
Mhm.
And then if I won, I would buy.
Cool. Okay, that's a good start. That's fantastic. Yeah, so we're looking at there are various ways to look at this. So you kind of have you've kind of got like gun economy, and then you've got like alt economy, right? Slash util economy. Okay. So yeah, generally when we talk about economy, people think about gun economy, and you're right. So you kind of play your pistol round, however your pistol round comes out. If you lose, it's best in that situation to save because the value we get from kind of the 1,800 credits you get, or you'll end up with following your lost money, you don't have enough of a grip on the game to kind of make that into anything better. So you're not going to force that. So that when you get to the third round, you can buy a full buy, and they'll be on kind of half guns, and you'll be able to do it. So the main thing to think about when you're managing your gun economy is to think about 2 things: what they're doing and what you're doing. Okay, and what is necessary effectively. So as I say, saving seconds. If you lose or buying it when you buying it when you win, it's all about saying, kind of thinking in your head, what can I do to win a round? And sometimes, if all you can buy is a sheriff and they have a vandal and an operator, there's literally nothing you can do to win the round. So at that point, it's better to go, okay, well let's save, let's wait until next round to do this because it's not going to work. And then sometimes you go, well, I can't full buy because then I can't buy next round, but I can get something that gives us kind of a fighting chance, yeah, like a sheriff or a marshal or a spectre, and it's figuring out those kind of cut off points. So generally, you're kind of looking for 3,700 credits, 3,800 credits, depending on who you're playing, to kind of do like a full buy with half armor. And you're looking for about 1,800 credits to do a half buy. So you always want to make sure you're kind of above those thresholds, because that means that your next round is not going to be affected by losing the current round. Are you aware of loss bonus?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? Sorry, my mom came in.
That's okay. Are you aware of loss bonus? You know what loss bonus is?
Lost bonus. Like you would save
No,
gun?
not quite. So for every round you lose, the up to 3, I believe, in this game. Every round you lose, the money you get going forward actually increases in a row. Yes. So if we were to lose the first round, we only get, I think, 1,500 credits. If you were to lose another round straight after that, you would actually get something like 2. I don't know the exact numbers, but basically the number increases. So the more you lose in a row, the more money you get given up to a cap.
Definitely,
So
yeah.
you can kind of say, well, okay, I can continue to buy this, and you have the kind of screen that says what you've got next round, right? So you kind of can use that to plan, okay, do I need to buy this or not buy this? That's not loading, so that's great. There you go. So min next round, that's if you lose 2,500, yeah? So that's how you can kind of plan out your economy. And you're just wanting to make it so that you have as many rounds as possible with kind of the best guns possible, yeah? That might sometimes be playing a half so you can have a full buy. And then alt economy, just to be quick about this, because I know I've droned on because I love talking apparently. Alt economy is kind of saying, well, okay, in the same way that you say, well, I've got these guns and the opponent's going to have these guns, it's the exact same with your ultimates. Well, I've got this ultimate, and my team have these ultimates to use, but the opposing team have these ultimates, and they're obviously very impactful, they're ultimates, yeah? So we don't want to be committing everything if the other team are going to... We wouldn't use a Kayo ult if you've only got a classic, for instance, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
you've
definitely.
kind of got to balance the two of going, well, okay, I've got my Kayo ultimate, so let's save for next round so I can use it properly. Or if you're just if you're one ult point off your Kayo ultimate, rather than buying like a bulldog that round, it may be worth saving that round or half buying that round so that next round you've got your ultimate and you've got a vandal in hand. Yeah, so you're kind of consolidating all of these pieces into making sure that you've kind of got the best hand to play almost. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of that, but we'll do that. Second one is macro and micro and the plan in quotation marks. Are you aware of what macro and micro are?
Like as in plan making? Like
Yeah.
consolidating with your team and all that?
Okay, yeah.
If
So their macro is looking something at a broad scope, yeah? And micro, if you think of the word microscope, is looking at something very narrowly, okay? So you kind of go through 2 to 3 stages when you play games like this. You have kind of your macro plan, your big plan that you make at the start round. Let's push B, let's hold mid, let's smoke this off and go here, yeah? And that's kind of generally quite easy to do because you're at the start of the round, you've got 30 seconds before anybody's going to shoot you, and you can kind of talk to your team and stuff and make a kind of a plan. Those tend to be difficult in Iron and kind of Bronze because people don't talk or people don't understand the game as much. So the easiest plan to make in from a macro sense as you're ranking up kind of through Iron and Bronze and Silver is play with your team. Because a shit plan done together is better than 5 really good plans done individually. It's a team game at the end of the day. So think about making sure that even if you've not called a plan out, just be with your team. Unless you have a plan in your head of, I'm going to go over here and do this specific thing because it will benefit my team. But overall, it needs to be kind of together with your team. And then on a micro perspective, you're looking at what are you doing within that plan. Yeah. So it's making sure that you've always kind of got a job. And then covering off something, if it's holding an angle or if it's pushing a certain area on the map or if it's planting or diffusing, all these different things, yeah. A lot of it is just making sure that you're not stood there not wondering what to do, because that downtime is time where they're going to take advantage of you.
So, for example, the macro and micro, Tabby might say we're going to go B, so we'll say Breeze. So we might say we're going B. And then when I'm doing the micro, I'm thinking, right, I'm going to be dogging backside. And then I'm going to be going into trade my duel. And then I'm going to plant spike once we've cleared the site. Like, that is the macro to the micro.
So that kind of buys into the kind of the third topic, which is space. Yeah. Control of space is one of like the key things when you play in a first-person shooter or tactical shooter like Valorant or Counter-Strike, and it's making sure that you have at the very least an understanding of what is going on the map. You may not necessarily know exactly what's happening, but you need to know what you're in control of. Because if you're in control of it, the opposing team don't have it and they can't exploit it. But if you give it to them, or you don't control it, then your ability to walk into that space freely, or use utility from that space, or plant in that space, all these kind of things are quite limited. Yeah. So the main thing is an awareness of space and what the opposing team have and what you have. So as a quick example, if we were to start a round, yeah, our defending team, we're all in here, and it's very likely that we can kind of get to, I would say, probably here and up to here. This is kind of all attacking team space, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's very unlikely that the defending team are going to come in here at the start of the round. Yeah?
Yeah.
Conversely, the defending team have all of this. Yeah? So we have to start thinking about what are we, I'll make a slight amendment there. What are we given and what can we use and what can the opposing team use? And where does the threat come from? Okay, so if we're walking over here, we don't really need to do anything. We're not that worried, are we? If we're walking over here, we're not that worried. But if we're walking up here, we have to be thinking about where's the threat. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So being aware of the space you're in and what space your team controls is very significant. And realistically, when you get to stuff like planning on site, we don't want to plant here, just here, having only kind of this much space, yeah? Because there's so much threat from the opposing team, isn't there? Yeah. They can come from anywhere and they can really take you down. So we want to be a bit more, we want to make sure we've got control of things kind of up to like here before we start planning this back or anything like that. A good way to think about this, especially in solo queue and lower ranks, is look at your team, use the vision cones on your minimap. Yeah, so you go, okay, he's looking over there, so I know that, say we've got our Killjoy is looking there. We don't need to worry about there, do we? Because we know that our Killjoy is covering that. If we're stood, we're playing Kayo, aren't we? If we're stood here though, and nobody is looking at this space, yeah, and we know there's people on A, then this is a threat. This is a threat to us, isn't it?
Yeah,
So
definitely.
there is no point really us kind of staring at the same position. Yeah, we're not gaining anything, and what we're doing is exposing ourselves quite significantly to a lot of threat from kind of like there or there. Yeah. And you play with that information depending upon what you're given. You said you really liked that KO was like an information agent, so this is like really kind of pertinent in that fact that go, if you were to throw a KO knife at the wall here, or like there, and you didn't get anything, then we really don't have to worry about that anymore, do we? Because the KJ is looking at it, and we know there's nobody there. But then you might hear a step, and it's all about dealing with the information and making yourself a micro plan that constantly changes in your head as to how we do things. Is that fair?
Yep.
So thinking about space, thinking about probably a micro plan, I would say. So what you are doing, what your job is in your current position, and thinking about how we're going to maintain our economy. Okay. Happy with those?
Yep.
Any points to add, Ivory?
Not to this, but I'm just going to say that I am.
Yay! Thank you.
You don't have to absorb everything.
Oh God, no.
Clarity, right?
I
All
talk
at once.
much too much for that to be possible.
And I will send you a rundown of.
Ooh, thank you.
So if at any point you kind of see one of those kind of points come up, tell me, yeah, and then we will stop. We'll talk about it, and sometimes I'll stop, or Ivory might say stop. We'll talk about them all. Cool.
I don't talk.
I love the comms, by the way.
Comms are fantastic.
You didn't get anything back, but you tried.
Don't worry, you still get this in.
Gotcha.
Wait a moment.
Hello. Oh, sorry, I didn't see that. Okay, apologies. Is that in the chat? Ah, got you. Good. you really want to flash or molly. I mean, in iron, I'm not going to really discuss the benefits of the two comparatively, but just something. My daughter's preschool update dropped.
Ooh.
I get pictures every day of what she's done. It's very good.
They're really doubling down on me managing their team.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Why are they so obsessed?
Don't know. Well, they were in my stream today.
Interesting. So Margot helped Jenny tidy up after afternoon snacks, so she's doing some sweeping. Got her wellies on. And then they be building blocks. She's going to a full outdoor preschool.
Mm.
So like they literally, it's like digging in the garden. There was a pheasant just hanging out yesterday.
Oh.
Like they're playing in the mud. Like she has about 3 different like wetsuits because she just goes through them at rate of noise. If it rains, it's muddy. They're doing mudslides, and I'm like, that's straight vibes.
I wish I had that at preschool.
Yeah, it's great. Like they have they have a polytunnel and then like a small indoor area, and then if the weather gets really bad, because obviously it's Scotland.
They won
do
their
have-
comp game, by the way.
Did they? Good.
But yeah, Kayo just 13-8.
Nice. I like that. We'll talk to
I'm back. I'm back.
Welcome back.
Hello.
Okay.
Ivory.
So, what do you think is the most like? Why are you buying a ghost? Because I know why I buy a ghost as a creator. Ghost.
I feel more so to get an advantage on to everybody on the other team. For me, I do better with hitting my shots with
That's
a ghost.
completely valid. There was no like wrong. Completely
Yeah.
valid. So yeah, so I buy a ghost because I'm shit with my util. I'm more benefit to my. Tabby won't let me not buy a ghost. But also I always buy a ghost because I'm more confident on value to my. Playing solo queue, playing ghost on pistol round is typical. Especially as a KO because you primarily be using yourself KO in ranks.
Mhm.
However, what util should you have picked up with knowing you're going A? Got the molly and you've got the blind. We just finished.
I don't think I bought.
Okay. So
I don't think I bought. I can't remember.
looking at your team comp, what piece of util buy?
The pop flash, the flash, or the I'm thinking the flash here.
So I personally would go with the flash because you've got a viper. So times you would hobby is
Mhm.
typically where you KO molly. But you do have a viper. Viper is also again you can absolutely buy that blind for yourself. But
Mhm.
at the same time, they don't have KO blind is when the enemy does.
Mhm.
Yeah, just bear in mind there's no right or wrong answer because Sky with the flashes you wipe with them, both of them be thinking when you're going into this, am I buying the molly?
Right.
From an economy point of view, you always want to kind of buy as much as possible on a pistol round. Yeah, because we're trying to win that pistol round. Yeah, it is the most even the game is going to be, apart from overtime, because everybody's money is the exact same. It is a blank canvas that is entirely down to player skill. Yeah. Sometimes they'll have like full armor and you'll have half armor, or you'll be on a force buy and they'll be on a full buy. Whereas pistol round and overtime rounds are literally a blank canvas of player skill. So you want to make sure that you give yourself every opportunity to win that round. We'll go for it. We'll go for it. Don't worry about lineups. You don't have to worry about lineups. I'm an ascendant and I still don't understand lineups. Great shot.
What's sensitivity?
Ever since I don't know what happened with the GeForce. No, not GeForce. Is the Elgato? No, the Logitech software breaking, I honest to God don't know what my sense is at this
Okay.
point in time.
Okay.
I try to make it like 0.3
Yeah. Fair enough.
and the max to be like,
That's
yeah.
like the average. On your pistol round, really good job. Fights for your um, like go close. Even though the ghost is still a viable option, ghost is like a medium fight that you pick.
A lot of thoughts on buying there, weren't we? Went all the way up to full
Yeah.
armor and then back down to kind of nothing. It's difficult. There's 2 schools of thought on this, and there really isn't a right answer. You can do what is correct, or you can do what your team is doing. So if we go back a slight second, both your ISO and your Sage have forced. So if you were to force here, I wouldn't be mad. But if you wanted to save because your Sky and your Viper were saving, then that's also completely valid. The correct thing to do is save, because you get the money for a full buy next round, and they only have the guns that they bought this round, and you know what I mean, it works out really well for you. But it's a decision you can make in the moment. But I would say, and good job, just full armor, terrible idea, because you don't have the gun to kind of back that armor up. You know what I mean? You always want to go gun
Yeah.
first. So yeah. So choosing to save this round is totally fine. I would say if some of your team are buying, just get some utility, because while you might not be taking gunfights with a good gun, they may be. Do you know what I mean? So at the very least, you can kind of support them.
Okay.
Also, another thing, if your team is buying, you want to glue your ass to somebody that has a gun.
Okay.
You are
If
the
you're
most
gonna-
important member on this team. Every time you stick your ass to something, which you've been doing. You if you have the weaker gun, you should never be first. It's why if we go onto like a save round the next round, and I live to say because like I saved, I'll always give my gun to John. He's on duelist. He's first point at he. And if he dies, someone else can pick.
the guns they have here, if we think about what's called gun advantage, the guns they have here, they've likely got sheriffs or marshals or like specters or something like that, yeah, or a bulldog. Us being able to do anything at this range with a classic is such a long distance that we really aren't going to get any benefit from taking this gunfight. So when you've got a kind of close range gun, you want to take close range gunfights, right? So we've got to put ourselves in a position by how we move and how we use our utility to do so. Okay, so long angles like up here, bad idea. But if we were to kind of come up here and take this angle, how much shorter that is, yeah. We may not. We may still not necessarily win because we do have a weaker gun, as Ivory said, but we put ourselves with a fighting chance. Yeah. So we just think about how we position on the map.
When Worthy coached me, double head dink with a, and he was really mad that I didn't get punished for that. And now as I've played more, I completely respect why he was, because I shouldn't have got away with that, and it just.
So right now, I'm thinking micro plan, and I'm thinking playing with your team. Yeah. So there's the spike. Yeah. If we can get across to help our Sage, we're doing a lot better, because at the very least we're kind of controlling the spike, and we're kind of helping our team out. Right now, both ourselves and the Sky are kind of watching pretty similar angles. And realistically, remember where we talked about the space at the start of the round, yeah?
Right.
We have all this space, pretty much goal all this space, because if there was anybody up here or here, they'd be shooting the ISO. And we're watching somewhere where they're not likely to be, because this was our space, wasn't it? So
And your
wanna,
Sage is rushing off with a Bucky onto site.
yeah, we want
On
to
one
put
of the
ourselves
longest
in a
range
position.
maps.
Let's put ourselves in a position where we aren't doing what is needless, if that makes sense. The likelihood of them coming down here or kind of being behind us right now is very, very, very slim. So we kind of want to be playing the numbers. It's a game of probability. You're always making decisions based on probability. So looking here, because we think about it, oh, are they going to come for a drop, for a shoot? And then we go, no, it's very unlikely, yeah, probability style, it's very unlikely that they do. and we're taking risk based upon that probability. So we say it's very unlikely they do, so I'm going to take the risk because I need to go and help my sage.
It's also worth bearing in mind the amount of guns that
That's not a fucking bird. Ain't no fucking bird sound like that.
I kind of wish they planted on A,
Yeah.
but
100% agree. There's no reason for them not to be there. All I would say is, do we know where Phoenix is? Phoenix was top mid, right? Maybe that's me. Yeah, ignore me. If it loads. We see Phoenix top mid with the ISO, I think. It kills him, doesn't he? So we know the Phoenix is over an elbow, so this has got a completely free side, you're right. Just as we're doing things, just kind of think about where we're putting our crosshair, and let's be conscious of the space, right?
yep.
Because if they're... Let's see how we peek this. Okay, so as we're walking around that corner, where could the Phoenix be? Where is he?
A little bit higher.
Yeah, he's definitely not there. I'm telling you. Definitely not higher. Definitely not there. So he could be here, right?
Yeah.
Or he could be here.
Definitely.
So at the very least, we want our crosshair peeking at one of them. What will be best is if we're able to isolate one of the angles so that we can see, say, this angle while not being able to be seen from this angle. So if we were to tuck ourselves kind of to this wall, then the person who's in here can't see down this way, can they? Because the wall's in the way. But we, and I'll clear this up a bit, we can still see to this angle.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Reducing that probability that we're going to get a shot, yeah. I said that we're taking risks in how we choose to do things, what we choose to peek and such. If we can eliminate some of that risk, it makes our life so much easier, doesn't it? Because we don't have to worry about it, yeah. Because I can guarantee you, even if you are looking at this angle, you're thinking, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, what if they're there, what if they're there, what if they're there, I'm going to get a shot. So even if you're looking in the right direction, you're a little bit distracted in the back of your head. So just, if you can eliminate that risk completely, then you put yourself in a really good position where you can focus entirely on landing those shots and being cracked at aiming, as you actually definitely are, and especially for Iron, like, you're far beyond Iron in aim. Any thoughts on that? Bearing in mind what we've just talked about.
Maybe I should have been a little bit careful while trying to pick that gun up. Just a tad bit.
He's over there. We don't know where he is, but at
also,
the very least,
bearing in mind you have a knife.
Yeah,
You don't want to take advantage of not knowing where he is.
Yeah.
Like, Kayo knife is the sky dog.
Yeah. So just go naturally. I need to look here first, and now we've looked here, I'm safe, I can go get that ghost. Or just run in and grab it, but I wouldn't shift forward to it because you put yourself at a lot of risk. Cool.
Especially because you... Anyway. Shift walking.
Okay, yeah, that makes good sense.
Oh, then the skin. Yeah,
you gotta go for the skin every day. Every day.
Skins equal wins, right?
Yeah. Skins for wins.
Skins for wins. Tell me what we know.
I didn't win this this game. I didn't win.
You didn't pick enough skins then, that's why.
Yeah.
Tell me what we know right now. Just thinking about a space on the map. What do we know?
They entered through main.
Okay. So that's ours, at least for the moment, right? Because they were just there.
But the McDonald's M right there, the double column right over there hasn't been checked. You
kind of looked all the way through to there, didn't you? You kind of saw that, right? You've not cleared it, but we can put it like a question mark, but a kind of half tick. And then kind of Sky's looked at it from this side, right? So we're every second that goes, we're going, oh, well, maybe if there was a 50% chance of being here now that I've looked down there and Sky's looked down there, maybe it's like 20%. Yeah? Where have we not been?
Elbow.
Elbow, okay.
My
So where?
My best guess.
Yeah, where's the threat then for us?
Behind us.
100% right behind you. So it's just kind of making this plan in your head and kind of just keeping an eye on the space and going, okay, we have control of this. We have a reasonable guess on that, like 80%. We have no idea what's kind of happened kind of around here, yeah? So that's where the risk is, isn't it? That's the big X. And we're always looking to shoot the big X. Okay? And I think you get that, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you kind of have a look at McDonald's, kind of clear it yourself because you never trust teammates. Don't disagree with that.
One thing that is really
Clear-
Valorant has a quick track, and
Mhm.
it's a really good to have when you're moving your crosshair to a different angle, just lining it up with that box either like before swing or before again, because your crosshair
Mhm.
is on that height. I like cool the height I need to around. But you'll see a lot of snappy movement, like high level players, because the quicker their crosshairs are lot across, the less time it has to from.
Cool, yeah. We've cleared that. Kayo and I've cleared it, and we instantly look, yeah. So, got a bit of head height stuff here, not massively, but kind of like we know they're kind of in that area, so we want to be part of the crosshair there, yeah. We'll be looking where they're going to be coming from. They're definitely not there. They might be there. So, oh, look at that, crispy. Oh, that's bang on
So
head height. If you
crispy,
pick that,
banger head
so
height.
crispy. Boom, easy one tap. But we know that our major risk right is mid, so we're going to pick that. Then boom, there he is. I'll caveat this by saying I have watched this before. Great shot. But we guessed. Good shooting. That's really good patience with your shots. Like I said, I've kind of watched, I think, the first 10 minutes of this. In terms of your patience with your gunfights, you are far beyond where an iron should be. Like, you see them run around, spray, and go crazy. So don't stress about you not winning your gunfights. You just have to be taking gunfights correctly, if that makes sense. The correct position,
Yeah.
looking in the correct direction when they're kind of distracted and such. But that was really good.
Just think about, especially at the though, either baiting your teammates or really good extra bonus here.
I think I could have given my thing, like my ghost to somebody, but
Agreed, but isn't you kind of flipped a bonus on his head, which is kind of uncommon. I wouldn't worry about it, especially in iron. That's kind of a significantly high level play. Good correction there, because we started off looking at that step, and as far as I know, Phoenix is not on that step. So good correction. We're in a good position here, ready to take a gunfight. We always want to be ready to take a gunfight, yeah. So
yeah.
there's a kind of a synergy between your mouse and your keyboard, right? So because we're going in this direction, we don't need to be physically looking in this direction, do we? We can use our W and ASD and such and get across there while maintaining that angle on there and keeping our crosshair placed there. That's kind of building that synergy of it's kind of hand-eye coordination to a degree, except your eyes are your mouse. So hand-hand coordination, I guess. Because we don't want to put ourselves in a position where we have to flick. So flick is difficult. What's your plan here? What's your thoughts?
Like today or like at the
Yeah,
time?
today, looking at the map,
I think like because of how I think they changed the way that ammo works from the last time I played, at least. Ammo, which is a long time, you can't just simply gun down a sage wall without losing a ton of your ammo, or at least like in the way that how it was used to play. Comparing it to now, it's not the same. I think it's not worth taking the fight at the moment, and then circling it back to B.
I'm inclined to agree. I actually really like this, okay? I know you're by yourself, and that's not something I would always recommend, but what it means is that if you are making noise here, then whoever's on this site, what are they thinking?
Oh, they're coming.
They're coming, yeah. I've got to worry about this angle in the same way that when we were up here and we had this angle and this angle, we had to worry about both of them. They have to worry about all the people stomping around up here, but they also have to worry about you, yeah. and that makes it hard for them. Yeah, if you were all coming from the same angle, it makes it really easy for them because they just have to worry about one angle, don't they? Whereas now you're putting a bit of pressure on them. I like the KO knife. And then knifing it, I no issues with.
Though, yeah, they already knew Silver was could have knifed, especially because you're playing on your entire team is.
Yeah.
You could play a bit more selfish. You're
Let's think about a bit of space, right? How much space do we control of this site?
Not a lot.
None of it at all. Okay, so is there any danger in front of us right now?
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
to the left.
Okay. Well, yeah, a bit of hindsight there, and then, whew.
Yeah. To the left.
There could be somebody here. There could be somebody here. There could be somebody here. There could be somebody on these. Depending upon what they're playing, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
My main point is that I agree with you on kind of preserve your ammo a bit. You don't always want to spray it in a sage wall. I'd say 1 or 2 bullets though is worth spending. So we've knifed the wall down, right? We've knifed the wall down pretty far. What do we want out as soon as that wall goes? That wall is broken.
Flash.
I'll get it, I promise. Boom. Okay, what have we not got out as soon as that wall is broken?
A gun.
A gun. To
Yeah.
save our goddamn lives. For every person that's like, oh, they're coming from this direction because we've been knifing a wall, the last thing we want to not have in our hands is a gun, isn't it? Yeah?
Yeah.
So a gun gives you 2 things here. It means that if you have to take a gunfight straight away, you can take the gunfight straight away, but it also means that you could have shot the wall from relative safety, couldn't you?
Yeah.
So that you're not exposed to literally everything as soon as the wall breaks. Yeah. So I agree that maybe you don't always want to spray a wall with your gun completely because it takes some damage, but the last tick of it, the last bit of it, you kind of want to start thinking, right, I'll get my gun out so I'm ready if there's anybody.
also worth bearing in mind. ISO from worth being aware that there is probably going to be somebody outside, and you were breaking the wall, being for definite. Might be worth making your map a bit.
Don't mind big maps. I
I
hate.
should have been punished there, but you know.
Do you know what?
We take
I'm not
those.
mad because you cleared it. Yeah, so it's not terrible to.
There's
take,
nothing to get punished for.
Yeah, because you had no information, and you took out. But what you did is you came out was you cleared an angle and you made the right. You made the right decision. Good spray. Yeah. You had 17 bullets left. Don't stress about reloading. Yeah, because it's likely that over the rest of the site there's at least one other person. We know there's one at double doors, right?
Yeah.
Make yourself safe before you reload. Yeah. If you're tucking into bricks or anything like that.
Also, you reloaded and then picked up a gun, and then continued to reload it.
Skins for wins, Ivory. Okay.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, if you didn't reload that and you moved straight over and you picked that gun up and then you,
be quick.
It saves you a lot of time and a lot of time that you're out in the open.
This is really minor. You did it really well. You kind of tucked into this wall while you're reloading. You're still reloading. The magazine is physically in the gun, but the gun is not ready to fire. Yeah. So just stay tucked. You don't want to be coming out before you're ready to shoot. If you're coming out of an area before you're ready to shoot, you're gonna die. I like the clear. It's nice. Good discipline with the shots. Again, we've got to think, what space do we control? We know we control this space, right? Because we've just took it, and we know we control this space because we just took it. I paused and I was like, I'm not going to comment on it. You did. But we don't have any control of this space, do we?
No.
So we don't want to be running around this corner reloading while we're looking at space that we don't control. Yeah. So just being aware of our space. We'll kind of skip through a few rounds, get ourselves onto some proper buy rounds because we've been talking about. I like that. I like that.
Press G.
Again, Viper just came from there, so we don't have to worry that much about that. But we definitely have to worry about over here, don't we? So
Yeah.
just thinking, making that quick plan in your head. Okay, I know what we control. I can make a quick assessment. This is safe. This is not. This is safe. This is not. And you always want to look at the not safe part, the big X. I like to clean it with your knife. Big fan. So when we're pulling at utility, try and pull it out behind cover rather than pulling it out, standing out. Obviously, you have to run around the wall to throw the grenade, realistically, sometimes. But you want to spend as little time stood out in the open without a gun in your hand as possible. There's one thing to take away from this is that, yeah, you want to make sure that you have a gun ready to fire if you are exposing yourself to the enemy. Good crosshair placement. Good recognition. I like that because he was 100% peeking you. Change up a bit. Nice. Cool. Yeah, good shot discipline. A concept, and I'm not going to labour it too much. Did we need to peek that?
Mm,
What would have happened?
no.
What would have happened if everybody was to just stand still and not do anything until the round ended? Who'd have won?
It still would have been us.
Okay, so who has to do something?
But he does.
He does, okay? So we can use that to our advantage, can't we? He has to do something. He has to step. He has to drop down somewhere. He has to do something. So we don't always want to put ourselves in a position where we're taking a gunfight, right? Because
Yeah.
realistically, if we're looking at who's cracked right now, at the top of the scoreboard and who's not, do you want to put the fate of this round in Potato 21's hands? Personally, I don't. No shade on Potato 21, but I'd prefer for you to control this round. So if you die there, then there's a chance we lose the round. So make him work for it. You know what I mean? We still got flashes. We still got a lot of time. We can play the clock out a bit.
Nico said, "Damn, I see how it is. You're roasting my boy Potato over."
Sorry, Potato. Sorry, Nico. Your boy Potato was down there. Very good cross. Again, your aim and your discipline with your shots far beyond your rank currently, so I would not worry about any of that.
I wish I could just hear the music well.
We're going to speed up slightly because I'm conscious of
Yeah.
time. Because I talk a lot, I know. Put it in 2, and we'll kind of just stop when we see something important. If you see something, stop me. Ah, that's quick.
Oh, it was very fast.
That's a good time. Yeah. So when we're walking up here, what are we thinking? What space do we control? Do you remember the little map I drew? Oh, it's gone now, but
Yeah.
is this
We don't control that elbow.
we don't control that, but we kind of can assume that they're not here yet because they would be they'd have to run like a rain. No, you'd have to like raise satchel to get there. But this definitely is not controlled. So we want to be treating that as if there's somebody there. If you knew there was somebody there, what would you be doing in your crosshair? What would you be doing with your guns?
I'm gonna pre-aim that.
Yeah, we would have had a vandal pointed at their head. Yeah, you would be all over that. See you later, mate. You're dead because your aim's better. Yeah, you are better. But we're just at the moment we're not quite thinking about what is safe and what isn't. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of it because we're like, oh yeah, I just get to run up here, throw a knife. Shit. Yeah.
I don't even think I realized I had a vandal there.
You may not have. I was wondering.
I don't think I did.
That was actually really good recognition by that sage there, wasn't it? Because that sage went, okay, we no longer control this space, so I'm going to use utility to deny it.
Yeah.
Good thought process. Similar concept, yeah. We're kind of trying to make that automatic. I would never suggest buying an open iron, but that's me.
I don't know. If you get a
Here
body
we are.
shot on someone in iron,
Pop off 1200s.
easiest rank up.
What do we know right now? I know we're not
Silver
playing.
Silver this elbow.
Cool. Yeah, good. So just recognizing that. And say just playing this correctly. Get up there, get heal. Nice.
Our window.
Right window. That's the wrong button.
Right, what did your teammates do wrong?
In 2 times speed.
Wait, they shouldn't have peeked him.
Side. That's it. That's the
Yeah,
that's the
you
answer.
couldn't have peeked him.
That's just the answer in it. Why would they? Yeah, the only person who needs to do anything is Sova, so let him come up and make a mistake. That's what you'll see that up to like Diamond Ascendant Immortal. People just needlessly.
It's the first for the,
Nobody in this
yeah.
call does that though. I'm sure.
No, I would never.
I would never. But yeah, I mean, your discipline is quite good in that. But like, kind of comes back to the Phoenix from the round before, wasn't it? Do we need to? Not necessarily.
Oh,
like
for
that.
the yeah, I
Okay.
realized.
So what do we know?
Sova's on nest.
So there is a big old danger sign. How do you know danger sign? What was it? Danger sign? Triangle?
Exclamation point.
Danger.
Triangle.
There you go. Danger.
Yeah.
Okay. Where else is currently danger?
To my right.
Yeah. Danger. Now your teammates are covering it because they're lovely people, but they weren't a second ago. So being conscious of what we're doing right now. Yeah. We want to throw things from safety, don't we? We don't want to be exposing ourselves to something dangerous while we've got utility in our hands. Okay. Our teammates definitely aren't covering that. So if there's somebody still there, you dead. So just thinking about those kind of things, yeah. What's safe, what's not. Love the flash and the peak of it.
Beautiful flash. Oh,
Really good. And is this the mortal Tali we're seeing for a second there? Well, watch the pre-shot, the pre-fire.
I fucking suck at these.
You logged the fuck on. You were like, okay, Sova's up there. You know what you're gonna do?
Fuck him up.
Die today. Yeah. Boom, and then instantly switch the crosshair. Beautiful. We clear the angle and we go, where's the next danger? Boom. Yeah. Would have really sucked with all this cool ass gameplay to get shot from there, wouldn't it?
Again, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I think that'd be just comedic timing right there.
Yeah. So just something to think about. Beautiful.
Beautiful. Really good spray.
Yeah. Again, gunfight, awesome. Fantastic. Just exposing ourselves to angles we got no control over. We're just a little bit. I'm surprised they didn't kill you. But we're okay. Good crosshair placement. Great crosshair placement. How could we have made that easier?
I could have mollied there, to be
100%.
honest.
Yeah. Taking a straight gunfight when you've got utility to kind of put to work towards your benefit, not necessary. If they're hiding in that corner, make them not able to hide in that corner. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
then,
definitely.
then they're running away.
Alternatively, stay close to the wall. Do the same blind that you
Mhm.
that corner.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
There's multiple ways to play it, but if we've got utility at our disposal, we just want to use it. Yeah.
Where'd that go?
It's cheap. Think about it. A vandal, you just lost a vandal. It's 2,900 credits. You could have easily secured that kill for 300 for a molly or 200 for a flash, and that's economy. Oh no, good. And that speaks to why we do not put the game in the hands of our teammates. Not because they're bad, but because we are the best player on the team. And if you are the best player on the team, you'll rank up. But we have to make sure that everything we do adds value.
Right.
Liking it. Quick buy. We're focused. Go back slightly. We've got a plan. We're peeking this angle. Okay. Nice. Cool. That's nice. So yeah, we've seen the Vipers controlling this space. We don't have to be worried about that right now. So we control the rest.
Good old. You've seen the Sage Res.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. Just practice those, practice flashes and Viper walls and such and smokes.
I hope they planted. They did not plant. Please
Plant.
plant. Oh God, please plant. Please
Oh,
plant.
they've rezzed.
Plant. Someone. No. Plant. I appreciate the revive, but please plant.
You'll notice that a lot.
Oh.
When I'm playing
I
Kayo,
haven't. Yeah.
I will
Hmm.
because so obviously you're attacking right, but when the spike's getting planted,
Mhm.
tuck yourself into that little corner on next to B main. Yeah,
Mhm.
the one. Tuck yourself in that little fucking corner. KO ult that covers elbow. It covers main. Sit in that little corner. KO ult. It stops them pushing. Second you're on site, you're on D. Don't need just because you're KO ulting.
Mhm.
If you're gonna use your KO ult, sprint out somewhere. Use it at the beginning of the round.
Mhm.
KO ult, you are the duel. And plus, it's
Yeah.
a lot easier for your team to res you when you're
Right. Yeah,
attacking
yeah.
something because they're running over you. They take sight, and then they come back and res. If you're pushing off on your own, it's really difficult. When you KO ult, sit in a fucking corner. You're trying to stop the sight retake. Because then if they clip you for a wall, again, you're still in a position where they can pick you up quite easily.
Mhm.
If you're doing it at round start because you're attacking, you are the duelist and you just accept that you're.
Oh my gosh, the Sage God! Sage is God!
Yeah, the value of being able to stop them from using any ability kind of far
Mhm.
outweighs the increased fire speed. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So yeah, Ivory's bang on with that. So the 1.2 level, yeah. Yeah, got our crosshair sword out. Got to build this habit that our crosshair is always where it needs to be. Yeah. This is
Mhm.
going to start getting risky in about 2 seconds. Yeah. Got an internal. We're starting to build an internal clock from our understanding of space. Going, okay, if I'm staying here, this is going to get risky because it hasn't been cleared, and they could be here in about 2 seconds.
Mhm.
So we're past. We're safe now. Okay. Not pulling neutral out in our hands, but what's important right now?
Well, I'm with the spike, and everybody's mostly near mid.
Yeah, fantastic. Exactly. So our team are playing mid, and that's totally fine. No issues. And you playing here is also totally fine. Just be cautious of what you're doing, considering you have the spike. We've got 1 minute 23 left in the round. We have all the time in the world. Yeah, you could sit in this corner for like 15 seconds, and it would not change the outcome of the game at all. Like you still wouldn't run out of time. You could sit there for 30, 45 seconds, and still wouldn't run out of time. The vast majority of Valorant matches are like decided in the first like 30 to 45 seconds, at pretty much any rank. So like you can spend a bit of time just making yourself stay safe. Oh, there he is. Yeah, bit of a risk there. He's fucked off to hell mid. Oh, Sage. Oh, she got it. Nice. What do we do straight away?
Reload. that shouldn't do
Yeah,
that.
don't reload, but what should we be doing right now? Based upon the information we've just gleaned from the map.
Rotating back to my teammates.
What is it? It's different, isn't it? Things change. Who just died? On your
Sova.
team. Sova, who died
Yeah.
on your team? Sage. Where did
Sage,
Sage
yeah.
die?
Main.
You mean. So
Yeah.
where is the only opposing member of the team? Of the opposing team, sorry. Where's the only member of the opposing team?
They'd be around backside B.
B side B,
Yeah.
right? So what is going on A side?
Nothing.
Big fuck off T, the tick, there's nobody there,
Yeah.
there's no threat there. Get over there, get the bomb down. Yeah. Call, if you want to use comms, call your teammate rotate and plan A, something like that. You're just better though. You are better. Your aim
You're
is
fucking
ridiculous.
amazing.
Yeah. Your aim I think is better than mine.
I had the spike, bro. That was not okay.
What time is it? What time is it? 9 o'clock, okay. Again, just be careful of pulling neutral out. If you've not confirmed the safety of the space. I like this a lot. For me, I'd be cutting sound right now. Probably a bit earlier, to be honest, because like your team are there. the opposing team have to get across to here, right? And they will probably do it quite quickly. So if you don't make them known that you're here, you should get a very easy kill, and you have. You cut it just there, nice. What am I going to ask you?
To not sweep the floor.
Yeah. Is the enemy in that wall?
No.
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 And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking the enemy is around that wall. But I
Yeah.
can guarantee you, they're never coming through the wall. They're not a ghost. So
I
you're
still
right.
do.
Yeah. Oh,
We
this
don't
isn't
have
a
that reason yet.
this isn't a thing. I do this. Like I'm not saying it's just we have to build ourselves out of that habit. Yeah. Because
Yeah,
you have to
definitely.
flick across here is what makes your life difficult. Yeah. Because your aim is just better. It's just if they get imagine if they'd peek from behind you right now. It's the same kind of concept. Like the only way they win a gunfight against you, Tali, is if they surprise you. Because you are just better than them. Genuinely, every single gunfight you've taken that's like unfair in this game, you have won unequivocally. But we're putting ourselves into unfair gunfights for ourselves. We're making life harder for ourselves. Yeah. So we just have to stop doing that. And you recognize you do. Okay, this is a really good example. Okay, I'm gonna slow down slightly. So we're doing this all nice. We're peeking the angles. This. And then we go, shit, is there somebody bridge? So it's a valid thought process. They might already be there. What do we want to do while we peek that? Where do we not want to be exposed to?
The bridge.
Well, we want to be exposed to that. We're holding that angle, yeah? Do you mean?
Oh, behind us.
Yeah, to nest.
Yeah.
So if we just move a little bit that way, we're now cutting off this angle, this threat zone.
Yeah.
That's gone. We don't have to worry about that anymore. And we can hold our gunfight and take a gunfight on our terms because we win. Yeah, so it's just a lot of all of this comes down to space and positioning. When people say they're losing gunfights because their aim's bad, what they mean is that generally, I know you didn't say that, but they generally, that their positioning is bad.
Mm-hmm.
Really good patience. Really good patience. You got flashed, it happens. You didn't
Yeah.
panic, jump off. You were just like, yeah, I'll just wait. What we'll do is we'll probably just finish attack. We can do defense at a different time if you're happy with that. So we're getting on to 9 o'clock. And we
Yeah, if you're feeling tired, for sure.
I'm always tired,
Yeah,
Tali. But
What time is it where you are? You're like, what, 5 o'clock?
it's just 5 o'clock. No worries. But if don't.
I mean, I think we've covered the majority.
Yeah.
I just don't want to overload with information as well. I'm going to put 1.75 because 2 times is pretty much impossible. Same kind of concept. Flush that corner out if you want with a flash or a molly. Yeah, use your utility to force them to be in a bad position.
Mm-hmm.
Just better. Unlucky. That was a good recognition that was a point of threat, though. I like that. We maybe over-egged it a bit, overcooked it a bit, truthfully on ourselves, but it was good. You went, hold on, they could be down in A main, so I'm gonna go cover that. They just got there before you did. One thing people like to do, especially at the start rounds and stuff, is just work on keeping your crosshair up at these kind of head levels. Like, don't default to down. Yeah, we want our default to be head height. We want it to be if we stop thinking, we fall asleep, and we're still somehow playing Valorant with our eyes closed. We still want our crosshair to just be a head level. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we want that to be the basis, and then you can make adjustments if you need to, rather than at the floor. Good placement, great crosshair placement. Again, you don't need to look where you're going. Keep your crosshair going. Okay, quick space thing. Think about our team a bit here. Yeah, we don't need to be going too aggro peaking this, especially considering we have the spike. If our team are doing all this, we can slow it down a little bit, play some time. Because if you were to give it 5 more seconds, I can guarantee whoever's on the back of this site looking this way is starting to look that way because they see the pressure, they hear their teammates calling, all that kind of stuff. They can hear the steps. Like, you want them to be distracted when we take the gunfight with them. It's not baiting your team. It's just kind of benefiting from the chaos, I guess. Go clear. Plant.
We won't. Okay, so this is just some KJ mentality here of fucking off site.
This is
Your teammates are way overheated right now, and you know the stage is in mid. There's no way that you can catch up to your guy without putting yourself in a one. You're not going to get traded if you. It's about weighing the pros and the cons. You have 2 blinds and a molly. Playing for spike here is where you're going to be best at being.
Yeah. I don't mind looking back here either because we have no information on the ISO at all. So like, there's a chance he's here. What I'd like to see, I hope I see it, is as soon as we confirm the ISO, if he's not main, I want to see us flick around because we've confirmed everything on the map. We know where the risk is. Yeah, we know if Sky sees this ISO right here, we know this is completely safe, so we don't have to worry about it anymore. So I want to see that. I'm hoping to see that reaction. Okay, you've kind of thought about the risk.
And then, yeah, this is your Sky fighting 1v. But you swing out for the trade. You swing off the info. Beautifully played.
Great sense of timing. I'm assuming you win this. Do you win this game?
Nope.
Oh, I'm very interested in defense then. Very interested in defense.
I mean, we can skip the last 2 rounds, I guess. It'll probably just be more of the stuff, right?
I've not got the energy for defense, and
Okay.
I also don't think. I think we consolidate this and make sure we're thinking about ourselves in this.
They end on 8-4.
That's fine.
That's fine.
That's why KO is so good.
No, I live.
That's why
I
KO
live.
is so good. Because yes, you get killed, but your team you're easily tradable, and then you can just get straight back up. It's like a free sage res.
Oh, nice.
Your aim is better than mine.
Mm.
Genuinely, I'm not joking.
He's not.
I'm not.
No. If I could honor you now, I would. I don't know how. I don't know if that like. I don't know how I feel about that.
What do you mean? Why?
I don't know. It feels. I mean, I think maybe. I don't know.
I'm not like lying. I wouldn't lie. I'm not a liar.
No,
You're
okay.
genuinely, your crosshair placement is better than mine. Which is great. That makes life easy, doesn't it?
No,
Just put
yeah,
yourself in
definitely.
position. Put yourself in the position to take the right gunfights, and you win. And you've kind of been doing that for the back half of this round, and that's why they've not picked up a round. Or the back half of this half. That's why they've not picked up a round. Don't mind that. Yeah, okay. So how are we going to get control of this site now? Got to use our util, yeah? Oh, Viper's done it before us, to be honest.
Nice.
Where?
That was fun. So I will say it is one of the biggest weaknesses with playing Viper in a lower elo. Refuse. Did a really good job of playing in the.
I also played a lot of Viper as well.
Yeah.
Specifically on this particular map. So at least when it initially came out.
Right, did a really good job, yeah. All I would say is just utility. We
Yeah.
can use our util a bit more. We were very passive on our util for kind of the whole half, but we'll kind of discuss that.
Yeah.
Cool. That is 8-4, a really good performance from yourself on an attack. What are your thoughts right now? What kind of key takeaways are you kind of gathering from the incessant rambling that is me?
I think No, the taking of space is actually something that I lacked a lot of, especially like with all the map updates that I haven't that I'm not familiar with or whatever. I think that that also helps out a lot with thinking about space in that sort of a manner and how you take up space when playing with the team. In placement, obviously not sweeping the floor.
Mhm.
What else? I think I could have calmed more with my teammates, but then again, like I'm terrified of just pressing, you know, like just push to talk and then just a slur just magically pops up.
Ivory, how long did it take you to start coming in ranked? What rank were you
Plat, mid plat, high plat.
before you were comfortable, wasn't it?
Yeah. Took me really.
So I'm not going to blame you all for that, Tali. It's an unfortunate world we live in, let's say.
Shuri and I have had a
so
lot of discussions about this in the study that was done on how men in lower elo are much more fragile, or lower tier anything are a lot more fragile, and they're a lot more prone to blaming why they're a low tier on other people. And it is a very common occurrence that they will blame it
Definitely.
on women, or they'll blame it
Yeah.
on trans people, or they'll blame it on gay people. Like there will be something, or they'll blame it on immigrants. Like, you know, there is a general
Definitely.
consensus.
Yeah.
So
And in gaming is
I
very
would,
much aimed at women.
That's particularly why like Ghost Daddy is like the username that I play with on Valorant, right? Like people respect me a lot more with this particular username than, so to say, if I had an e-girl type of like username like Blossom or whatever, you
like
know?
Twilight Huntress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like and I feel like I have a voice that can either people either think that I'm just a 15-year-old boy or just a younger boy, and that I feel like is something that just um people just end up respecting me more within the game that way, which is particularly like the whole reason why I did that because initially when I had a different username, one word, and I had a breach on my team, they would just immediately like throw all util at me, and I wouldn't be able to play the game.
It's sad, isn't it?
And that was before. Like now, currently, you can't like throw util at people in the pre rounds.
Mhm.
But that was when you were able to throw util at people in those particular rounds. So that
Yeah,
was a really toxic. It still is kind of toxic, but I'm glad that they did those changes within Valorant, which makes me feel more comfortable with playing Valorant now.
really good. Yeah. So I wouldn't worry about coming. I can see it, and I think if like they'd have been talking all game and you got the vibe, then feel free to join in. But I wouldn't worry about comms.
Like
I think
genuinely, I would only speak like round 8 or 9 vibing. I spent the majority of my climb from iron to plat, not saying a single.
Mm-hmm.
it's difficult. It is a difficult predicament to be in. Yeah, I think you kind of nailed the key ones. I think thinking about space and time, and as a result of space and time, where is the risk? Where is the threat coming
Mm-hmm.
from? And locking that down, because if you know where the threat's coming from, you're not going to peek it with a Kayo knife. Yeah. um,
Definitely.
and as part of that, if you were aware of where the threat's coming from, you're more likely to put your crosshair correctly on it. Do you know what I mean? I think a lot of
Mm-hmm.
some of the problems that you had, which honestly in this half not significant, really, were you weren't expecting somebody to be there. Whereas if you were thinking a bit more proactively about kind of space and time and where it's likely that people will be, you'd
Mm-hmm.
expect them to be there, and as a result, what kind of the point I'm getting to is you can tell when you lock in. It's very obvious. You know when
Mm-hmm.
you flash mid and you like peek the angles. Like when you're locked
Yeah.
in, it's like she's on fire.
It's something that you've practiced. It's something you've
It's
rehearsed. It's muscle memory.
yeah, evidently
Yeah.
very good at it. I think that the part that you struggle with is actually expecting people at the right time almost, or thinking about where the threat is. And I think if you were to
Mhm.
lock that down, your crosshair placement and your kind of gunfights and your positioning for all of those things would start to improve rapidly. And I think that's probably the key for it. Yeah. So
Mhm.
those kind of things where you're peeking around an angle, if you think, oh, there could be somebody there, just treat it as if there is somebody there.
It's treated like a
Mhm.
death match. Like you've just put up somewhere and you're in a death match,
Yeah.
and you have to make there is exactly where.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And as part of that, play some death matches, I think. Because at every point in a death match, I mean, I've discussed this at the start, you have to assume that there is somebody on every angle because you can spawn everywhere,
Mhm.
can't they? So you kind of get used to just being in that kind of rigid, I need to peek every angle at head height and I need to be locked in
Mhm.
at all times kind of thing.
And you think
And
of all the
obviously,
angles you get peeked from. So when you did that sweep from bot mid to top mid, and we were like, oh, double doors. In a death match, you'd be thinking about double.
Definitely, yeah.
and if you were worried about double doors, even if you still were, rather than peeking from here to top mid, it's really difficult with the size of map. You might peek from closer to this wall. Do you know what I mean? Because then somebody peeking
Mhm.
doors can't see you, so you kind of cutting off the angles, like eliminate that threat completely, and it just puts you in a better position so that when you actually go into the gunfight that you want to take with
Mhm.
the enemy that you want to take, you're winning because you will win those gunfights 100% of the time, pretty much. Like your aim is outstanding. Your crosshair, your discipline with shooting. I crouch spray. I'm an ascendant and I just crouch spray everything. But that's because my positioning is good and my utility usage is good. But everyone has their pros and cons. But your
Yeah.
your positioning or your gunfight, like your discipline is incredible. So that won't be an issue climbing. It's just
Yeah.
making sure that you get the gunfights you want to take.
I remember when like initially starting the game, the individual that I was friends with at the time, they were like immortal. They're like, don't crouch spay, don't do it. That's like a really bad pattern for you to do, especially once you start going into higher elos. And then I
Yeah.
was like, I took it to like heart in
Yeah,
a sense.
100%.
I was
There
like,
are
oh yeah,
definitely times where
okay.
crouch spraying is good, but there are just as
Yeah. And relying
Mhm.
on it and it becoming a bad habit is very, very easy. So you've done very well to avoid that, and it will serve you very well. We just have to tidy up kind of positioning and kind of where we're peaking and how we're peaking to
Mhm.
make it better. Which I think will become really relevant on defense when we touch that. So going forward, yeah, space, threat, where are they coming from? Should I be worried about this angle? How do I not be worried about that angle?
Mhm.
All those kind of things. That's what I would be thinking about.
Definitely.
Happy?
Yeah.
Any questions from yourself or points?
Mm, no, I don't have one, but this helped out a lot in the reapproaching Valorant.
Cool, good.
your aim is
Content?
not the problem.
No, never is really.
Very
Um,
rarely is.
Any
I'm
feedback for Ivory or myself?
No, I liked it a lot. I liked how people muted, and whoever needed to like chat did within chat. Um, what else? I like how you guys are pretty flexible with me, especially with my work schedule and all that. Uh, good. Lol. Lol.
I'm trading. I didn't
Yeah.
realize we were typing here. It's nice.
But other than that, like I enjoyed your constructive criticism is very good. And even just with like the first half, is pretty good.
Good. I'm glad.
I like the drawing of the thingy.
penis. My favorite part.
Yep. Oh, absolutely.
Outstanding. I'm an artist. What can I say? A modern Van Gogh.
Mm.
No. Okay. Cool. That's
Give
fantastic.
you an honorary degree in illustration, my friend.
Yes. Thank you. Do you have